Hi. Okay, so in this video I'll just be briefly talking about this exercise therapy that I came up with to help myself cope with negative feelings, stress, anxiety, or just, kind of empowering myself. So just to put it out there that this is not a unique or original idea. I'm pretty sure somebody else out there has put a name to it, maybe even wrote a book about it. And it's kind of similar to path working and visualization, so, just saying this is like not a original idea. This is something that I made up for myself to, as I said, help me cope. Okay, so I call this the imagination therapy through tarot. And what you do is you take out your tarot deck and you pull out a few cards that you think that will help you on this journey you're currently embarking. Say maybe you pull a particular card where you feel like this is the lesson that you need right now, or you feel like this card, what this card means is exactly, the kind of quality that you need to have right now as a person. So just pull out whatever card you want, pull out cards that you can draw strength from, pull out a card that you feel like, okay, this is going to help empower me, this is going to help me through what I'm going through right now, or help me become better, that kind of thing. And then you're gonna, say, I'll just start an example. Say you want to get in touch with your emotions and make sure that everything's, you're not being, all stuck up and pent up, like everything's kind of just pent up inside. You want to get in touch with your emotions and make sure you're addressing your feelings properly. So you pull the Ace of Cups. And then you think that you want to get in touch with your inner child. You want to see this world in a less complicated way. You want to be open. So you pull out the Sun, right? And maybe you have these ideals for yourself. But you also want to start. You want to start pursuing your dreams, or you want to put things into action, and you want to build that momentum, so you're not just lazing around. So you pull Eight of Wands. So after you pull out the cards that you need, arrange them in a way that makes sense to you. So kind of arrange them into a narrative. So for example, you start with, you want to get in touch with your emotions and you want to feel less complicated. And you can put the Eight of Wands on top. So kind of saying that this is like the theme of your journey right now. You want to move forward, you want to have that incredible momentum, but while you're having this momentum, while you're moving forward, you want to keep in mind of these two things. So you put it on top. So once you figure that out, you put it in front of you. Put these cards down in front of you. Sorry if I'm going too fast, I'm just trying to keep everything really concise. So you put the cards down in front of you, and you just kind of sit down in front of them, in whichever way you feel comfortable. Or you can even lie down if you want, as long as you can see the cards, or you know the cards by heart, whatever you feel is right for you. And then use your imagination, but try to, when you're using your imagination, create a story that incorporates all these cards, and also incorporates what you're currently going through. Kind of reimagine yourself, take yourself out of your current reality, reinsert yourself into another world, into another story that you have created for yourself, where you're this character going through the same thing, but you're overcoming obstacles. You're pretty much imagining yourself to be this ideal version of yourself. It's like you want to be badass, you want to be super powerful, you want to be just super positive, super optimistic, all these qualities that you want yourself to have, to kind of overcome your current obstacles or kind of become a better person, that kind of thing. So imagine yourself to be this kind of ultimate ideal character, and then anything can happen in your imagination. So for me, because I like fantasy, so I will probably imagine myself as a badass female warrior with a cape, probably, and a sword, maybe riding a dragon, whatever your wherever your imagination takes you. and incorporate these cards into a story that you're creating. So say you start with, you want to get in touch with your emotions. So you look at the Ace of Cups, and maybe you imagine this cup as your heart. Maybe you imagine this as kind of this organ inside your body, and you imagine these waters flowing out, and these waters are your emotions. And try to think about what those emotions would be. Maybe you're stressed. Maybe it's your love for somebody. Maybe it's friendship. Maybe it's just happiness pouring out. So pay attention to those things. This is kind of also kind of self-reflective at the same time, right? So, do that for yourself. And then, so after that, this is kind of like the beginning of your journey. You imagine your heart being this kind of chalice or cup, and then your emotions are flowing out. You're being kind of just drenched, surrounded by these water that is your emotion. And then you meet this character, this innocent babe next to these sunflowers. So maybe you step into this beautiful field of sunflowers and you meet this child right in the middle of it. And this child is kind of reaching for that lollipop or stick candy. And you kind of like imagine what would go down. What would happen when you meet this child, and how would you draw strength from the sun, from this kid, from how would you be open? Visualize, right? Anything can happen. So maybe just going from that cup heart imagery, maybe from this cup a sunflower starts to bloom. And then that kind of represents your optimism, kind of your openness, your willingness to be open. So it's kind of flourishing, it's blooming inside of you, and you just feel empowered, you feel great, you feel released, that kind of thing. And just let your imagination take you just anywhere. Be whatever you want to be. Don't inhibit yourself. Don't feel guilty about thinking certain things. Don't feel nervous or whatever. It's in your head. Nobody needs to know. And kind of go through this journey, this therapeutic journey of incorporating your emotions and the meaning of these cards and the things that you wish you embody or things that you wish that you have. Kind of make them into, kind of play them all out in your head, right, in your imagination. And maybe you're slaying dragons, and dragons are kind of representing your fears towards something. You're overcoming obstacles, you're empowering yourself. Do whatever you need to do in your imagination to accomplish that. And then have a sense of narrative too, right? So say when you feel like, okay, this is like probably the end of it, feel good, kind of have this closure where maybe you draw another card, maybe you have visualize this ending for yourself. Say, for example, the ending card is Judgment. So maybe you end your journey or your adventure or quest or story or whatever in front of these two angels, and you feel completely at ease, where you feel like, okay, I've made this decision, I have this I'm overcome by feelings of comprehension, I feel like I'm more relaxed, I feel like I know myself more, blah blah, and kind of like have that ending where you where like the lesson is learned, and then you like, there's this kind of new understanding, right? Like a catharsis, almost. So do everything in your head like that. So yeah, I hope that makes sense. So the point of this is you are using your imagination, your intuition, your focus, and also self-reflective power. You're using all these things to enter into this kind of semi-meditative state where you use the power of your mind, the power of your imagination, to heal yourself, to help you become the things that you want to become, to kind of help you cope with the things that are bothering you. And I just found it super useful because I love to use my imagination. I write stories, I'm a creative writer, I'm a poet, I love reading, as you can see, that's my bookshelf. Yeah. So overall I just found like it's a really cool exercise because when I finished my imagination therapy with tarot, I just feel so much better because I was having some issues with stress and self-image, that kind of thing, and just like spending that 10 minute, like a good 10 minute that session has been just tremendously helpful. And it was also something I came on the spot too, so it was pretty cool. But I just having mad fun in my head. I was just slaying all these monsters and flying all over the place, that kind of thing. So, in a way, it's also kind of healing yourself through fun. And yeah, your imagination. So, like, the power of your imagination is incredible. So don't ever underestimate it. I think that's all I have to say about that. And yeah, I think just one more thing I would add is when you're doing this exercise, you should try to pay attention to your feelings. Pay attention to what comes up, pay attention to what you're going through, and pay attention to the images that you have conjured up for yourself. And, you know, because it's also meant to be a self-reflective process, so it's good to pay attention. So maybe something will be revealed that you have never known before, right? And yeah, so that's like my first attempt at describing that technique. Still kind of raw at the moment. I'll probably refine it and then maybe make another post about it. But that's basically how you do it. If you have any questions, message me or comment, I guess. Like I said, it's still very raw. I just invented it like a few days ago on the spot. But I thought I would share it because it's such a great thing to do and to try. So if you end up trying it, leave your comments below. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say. Also, I just have to say one more time that the Dreaming Wave Tarot is amazing. It's just amazing. Yeah, alright. So I think this video is pretty long already. I guess I need to shut up. Right, you know, like, the attention span of people nowadays is not that long. That's including me, just saying. But when you're talking, because you're the one who's talking, then you don't really care, right? Where you're watching something else, you're just like, if it's more than 5 minutes, nah. Alright, I should stop babbling. Hope you enjoyed this video, and peace.